Hello, this is AstrologerCoach Sonja Francis, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming full moon in 28 degrees of Aquarius on August 20th at 9:45 p.m. East Coast time in the US, which is New York time, and 6:45 p.m. West Coast time in the US, which is LA time. Now, this is the second full moon of 2013 in Aquarius, which the last one was on July 22nd. And so this is really sort of like we're getting a chance to really explore this Aquarius Leo polarity for the second time now and for the next 2 weeks. And Leo is very much about love and acceptance of ourselves and of who we are in the moment and how we're expressing ourselves in the moment. And Aquarius is very much about, bringing this self-expression to a bigger, larger collaboration with others and to have sort of like a network or a group of people and to create a larger vision or a better future and to really have equality and tolerance with each other. Now, one of the questions that is a great question to ask with that polarity is how can we stay true to ourselves, which would be the Leo, while participating in the larger whole, which would be the Aquarian energy. And this polarity also says that coming from a heart-centered consciousness is really what changes our lives and what changes our world. So connecting that the heart with the head, and connecting, coming from that self-expressed place and bringing that into the world and collaborating with other people around that. And making a higher vision for the collective in that way. And that's really what that polarity or that axis is all about. Now, the difference between this full moon and the last full moon in Aquarius from a couple of weeks ago is that the moon is connecting very closely to Neptune in Pisces, because the moon is in a late degree of Aquarius and Neptune is in an early degree of Pisces. So they're really connecting, and so this is helping us to see the interconnectedness between all of us, and we're really getting a chance to dissolve any issues that separate us from each other, the issues from the past that have made us feel like we're not connecting. So we're really getting a chance to dissolve all of that, and this is also a highly creative and spiritual time with Neptune being involved, and we can see much more possibilities now, because Neptune is very much about possibilities. It's about seeing the higher connection of everything. It's about higher love. And so we're also more able to bring compassion to ourselves and others around these higher issues or the things that we want to change in our lives. Now, with Chiron still being involved as well, connecting to Saturn, connecting to the moon's north node in Scorpio, and connecting to Jupiter in Cancer, that grand trine is still in place, just like it was for the last several weeks. And so this is definitely also supporting us in terms of our healing process. So we're still being invited to heal on a physical, emotional, spiritual level. So just allowing that healing process to take place is very important. Now, Jupiter, who is in Cancer right now, is completing a square with Uranus at this time, and this is part of the T-square between Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto. And so this is a turning point for us, and also a place of making adjustments and changes in terms of our perception of things, how we perceive something. And we talked about this a little bit also in the new moon video 2 weeks ago. But, this is going to be taking place several times for the next 6 months. And Uranus being the focus point of this T-square, that's very important with this full moon, because Uranus rules Aquarius. So it is a big part of this full moon. And Uranus really asks of us to make progress, to break away from the old, from the things that are no longer functioning well. And so we're really being challenged to think outside the box. We want to remain flexible, and we want to create new visions, new ways of working, so that we're getting more connected to who we are on a more individualistic basis. And of course, we need to come up with unusual and innovative ways so that we can create win-win solutions, win-win situations in our lives. And that is very important with that T-square. Now, Venus, which is approaching this T-square as well right now, because Venus is moving through Libra, Venus is going to form a grand cross with these three planets by August 24th. And so that means that we have to really be very clear about our values, our priorities. What do relationships mean to us? Like, how important are relationships, and what are they contributing to us right now? And how can we make changes and shifts within all these different areas of our lives? How can we advocate for peace and for partnership, and Mercury and the Sun and Mars are also going to be moving into Libra in the next few weeks and months. And so Mercury starting in September, the Sun in October, and Mars in the end of the year and beginning of next year, they're all going to be making that grand cross, forming that grand cross with Jupiter, Pluto, and Uranus. So this is really a big shift. It's because we're seeing this grand cross popping up several times with different combinations up until 2014. And so a grand cross is always about change. It's always about shifts. And especially in the cardinal signs that it's taking place right now, this is really about us moving forward and being brave and stepping into something that we feel good about, and some changes that we really want to make right now. So these alignments really are accelerating our personal and collective growth process, and it's a shift in consciousness, and it's a very rapid, speedy shift in consciousness. And of course, we've already been experiencing that for the last 2 years or 3 years, that this steady growth in evolving and shifting of consciousness. But I think this full moon in particular is really a place where we're starting to that's really starting to speed up now with that grand cross, right? And so for the next 6 months or so, we're really going to feel this very strongly. Now, Jupiter is also a part of this grand cross. And because Jupiter is making a pretty exact square to Uranus during this full moon, we also want to look back to when Jupiter conjunct with Uranus in the beginning of 2011, because that's going to give us some information about where we're needing to make some adjustments and where we're needing to move forward in our lives. Because something got started or something got planted for us in the beginning of 2011, and now we're seeing that we're needing to look at what needs to change now and where do we need to move forward now in our lives. So use that as a starting point to see where these changes are occurring in your life as well. Now, on August 26th, the Sun is making a square to the lunar eclipse degree that happened on May 24th, and also opposing Neptune at that time. So this is going to be a day where we're really wanting to pay attention to what's unfolding that day, but also what are we sensing? What is our intuition telling us on that day? What are we really feeling is coming into play? There is going to be a shift in terms of perception or how we see things at that time, or what we've learned. And so we really are needing to tap into our feeling and mental states at that point to know what that shift is all about. Now, if you have any personal planets or points in 27 to 29 degrees of Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio, or between 0 and 1 degrees of Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, or Sagittarius, then this full moon is going to be definitely more potent for you. But all of us are going to feel this full moon somewhere in our chart, so it's going to definitely be affecting all of us in some way. And with all these planets being in play right now, with all these outer planets connecting to each other in some way, this is a very potent time, I would say, and this is really happening until 2014, and some of the outer planets really are making this connection until 2015. So we're really experiencing a very strong relationship between the planets right now, which are really a major opportunity for us because it's a catalyst for major big change in our lives in many areas of our lives. So it's not just affecting one or two areas of our lives, it's really about a lot of different places in our lives. So we're really needing to make a choice right now. And all of us, of course, have free will. So we're all able to make these choices consciously, or to not make a choice and deal with all these energies on a very unconscious level. That's, of course, a choice as well. But I'm really wanting to encourage each one of us, especially who's watching this video, to really make a conscious choice to grab this opportunity and to create change in your life, to step more fully into who do you want to be, like what is it that you need to let go of that's holding you back from really becoming the person that is making a difference on a personal level, on an individual level, and on a collective level in this world. I think this is a really important thing that each of us needs to face right now in a conscious way. And here are some questions that you can also ask yourself, which is, what is your calling? What is it that you think is your calling? And just tap into your intuition and check in and see, like, what could that be for you? How can you get out of your comfort zone to create something bigger and something better? This is a very important question, because a lot of us, we get stuck in this comfortable place of like, well, if it's not broken, let's not fix it. But the truth is, right now, this is an opportunity for us to actually create something big, a really amazing future for all of us. So, by getting out of our comfort zone, we really are able to create that. And so this is a really important question. How can we get out of our comfort zone? And how can we allow ourselves to be a little uncomfortable? Because that's part of it too, right? We need to allow ourselves to be a little bit uncomfortable. Then another question we can ask ourselves too is, how could we release the past and step into this better future that we want to create? And part of that stepping into that better future means we need to let go of our past conditioning, of our past behaviors, our past perceptions of beliefs of what we thought is true or what we thought is necessary, and just let go of these things. And Pluto is part of this Grand Cross. Uranus is part of this Grand Cross. Both of those planets have to do with transformation and change, which means that, transformation means we can only transform if we're willing to let go. Without letting go, we're not able to transform anything. So we have to make that choice, clear choice to say, I'm ready to let go, or I'm ready to change. I'm ready to step into a change in my life. So holding on to the past is definitely not going to serve us in any way, shape, or form. Now, the last question you can ask yourself is, what if? Because, stepping into something new is not always easy, because it means that we don't know what that's going to look like. We don't know what it's going to be. So what if uncertainty didn't cause fear in us, but excitement? And that is a really crucial question, because that is really going to make the difference between whether you're able to hang out with the discomfort or whether you're able to get out of your comfort zone or not. Because if you can get excited about a future, even though you don't know exactly what it's going to look like yet, but if you can get excited about creating that future and not being held back by fear, that is really crucial. So I just want to invite all of us to really ask ourselves that question. What if uncertainty didn't create fear, but it created excitement, right? So these are all really, really important questions. And I think this full moon is just so potent because it's in such a late degree of Aquarius, because it's the second one in 4 weeks in Aquarius. So change is part of that message. Change is what we all want, and to be open to that, and to be open to to letting go, to be open to change, to be open to the excitement of all of that, and to not step into fear, and to allow ourselves to heal, and to allow ourselves to be bigger and better, and to be self-expressed, and to bring that to our future visions. That is really going to be very crucial. Now, if you are really interested in astrology and you love all the things that I share, feel free to check out my soul-based astrology courses that are available on my website. I teach astrology, and I find it very rewarding to be able to support people with the understanding of astrology and the tool of astrology. So feel free to check that out on my website. I will also have a link underneath that video about that. And then if you want to get supported by a one-on-one reading with me, I do one-on-one readings via Skype or phone, then feel free to reach out and ask for a reading. I have several readings available that can support you depending on what your current situation is and what you're needing. But if all of that is not in your cards right now and it's not what you're wanting right now, then I would definitely recommend stay in touch via my weekly forecasts, because they are really valuable in terms of us understanding what every day is happening energetically speaking, and how you can be in touch with that. And also, in the weekly forecast, sometimes I can go a little bit deeper into each of the aspects and explain them a little bit better than I can do in a 15-minute video. So those are definitely valuable, and also point to how they're connecting to you personal a little bit more. All right, so have a fantastic full moon. Remember, it's an emotional time, it's a relationship time, it's a time where we work things out internally and with other people in terms of a balance that we're seeking. So have a fantastic full moon. This is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis. Goodbye.